Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great bishop, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren, pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, the 144,000, shalom. And the rest of the multitude of men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days, shalom. I'm the brother Dama Agabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai. And as you can see, hey, it's more talk about the incoming MOTB, which is the mark of the you-know-what. All right, and as we've been doing here at Great Millstone, basically all week, and even last week, is giving you warning and blowing the trumpet on, how this beast system is about to be fast-tracked, all right? And very soon, a lot of you false Israelite groups who've been teaching that the mark of the beast is sin in all of its form, how it's, sleeping with white women, how it's white Jesus, how it's all these other, non-physical, things are about to be, confronted with the truth of what the mark really is. All right. And it's the micro C-hip. Now we've been letting you know that all of these digital ID, all of these, everything going digital, CBDCs, digital driver's license, digital identification, all of these things are just the lead up until the charagma will be, forced upon you, upon the whole world. All right. And it will be how you will be able to buy and sell in the future. That'll be your access into the system that this man is going to create. All right. And everything, all of your access to any and everything will be through this beast system via your micro C-hip in the future. Now, like we've been telling you now, of course, for a while, we'll all be able to use digital. We'll be able to use these digital IDs. You'll have to get a digital wallet. You can probably have the apps on your phone to where you can, transaction for a while. But we know eventually it's all going to culminate into this technology being literally surgically, inserted inside of you, as prophecy says. But as you can see, hey, these devils are fast tracking, this system because they know that they have but a short time. All right. And this is why they're about to bring all of the order out of the chaos, more shock value situations, cyber attacks, bank runs, T attacks, all type of, so-called, unusual circumstances will happen before they'll be able to be justified and, collapsing this system and bringing this new system, which will eventually be the micro C-hip. All right. So I'm going to read some of this article. I'm going to hop around a little bit and just drop one or two precepts, because, hey, we're at the times to where the Lord is about to make, his true prophets be true and you false prophets to be found exactly that, false prophets. All right. And you other Israelite groups better wake the hell up and get right and repent, man. And teaching that the MOTB is anything of what the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone said it is. And it's not because it's Great Millstone who's saying it. It's the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that has given the understanding of this prophecy to the elders and the apostles and the men of Great Millstone. All right. So just repent, man. Drop the pride and the ego and just teach the truth. All right. It says the Biden administration is drafting an executive order for federal and state governments to speed up the adoption of the digital ID, including mobile driver licenses, and for the development of a uniform government-run online identity system to verify identity and age and access public websites and services. You see, because the system that they're creating, if you don't have these potential digital IDs and digital access and permission from the powers that be, you are going to be killed in the form of being excluded to do business or to have access to services, to go into grocery stores, to travel, to be identified, to work, to have an apartment, to have electricity, power, food, every single access to, tangible things are going to be hinged upon you bowing down and getting yourself inserted into this system, which will eventually be the micro C-hip. You see, this is just like the carrot they're dangling in front of you people's eyes, the gradual steps that they're going to get you comfortable with before they drop the major bomb on you, which is the micro C-hip. See, they're going to get everybody used to using this new digital system, getting all your information on these, online, digital, get you comfortable. They might even give you some incentives, give you a little bit of, a reward, or maybe a couple $1,000 or $500 or free tickets or hot dogs or hamburgers or beer, or whatever, to lure you in to this snare and this trap. And then eventually, hey, when it gets to the point to where they feel that they have enough people and everybody, buying in, then they're going to come with the C ragamuffin, man. All right. It says, notice a nonprofit news outlet obtained a draft of the executive order, which states it is the policy of the executive branch to strongly encourage the use of digital identity documents. According to Notice, the executive order could reshape how Americans access government services and potentially behave online. You see? So they're about to start really, forcing a lot of behaviors that are going to be in line with what the powers that be. You see? And see, and this is why they're really going to come at the less fortunate and the poorer of the society, because pretty soon they're going to start telling you, if you want your welfare, if you want your Section 8, if you want your government handouts, if you want your government assistance, hey, if you don't get down and identify yourself digitally with this system, we're not going to provide these things for you anymore. We know that a lot of these people that are poor, that are getting welfare, that are getting subsidized housing, Section 8, food stamps, whatever. Hey, they're basically going to tell you, look, if you want to continue to eat and be taken care of by a big brother, hey, you better get down with this system. Otherwise, we can't do nothing for you, man. You see, and this is why they're bringing in a lot of these migrants, because they know, hey, they're going to take whatever the government tells them to take. They want to stay here in this country. You want to continue to get your handouts. You want to continue to get your, the red carpet rolled out for you and your family while you're here in this country. They know that the majority of these migrants are going to take this without any fight, without any question, and they're going to just take it. But they know a lot of Americans, eventually, the ones that are smart are going to buck up. They're going to resist. They're going to say, hell no, we're not going to do this shit, but a lot of them will also take it. You see, so this devil was forcing the system to where he's going to leave you no choice. Either you're going to take it or worship him as a god and bow down to this system, or otherwise, hey, you're going to starve to death. Or, he'll round you up and lock you in a detention camp, put you in the re-education camps, do whatever he has to do in order to coerce you into eventually bowing down into this system, man. You see, and this is why he's going to let all hell break loose before he really, let all hell break loose, let you sweat, let you be perplexed, let things go crazy before he ultimately, roll this thing out as your only option to salvation and peace and going back to normal. This is just a complete and utter snare and a trap, man. See, this is why we got to stay prayed up to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says a digital system could operate with the use of biometric scans like facial recognition to help others better verify identity online. Notice reported that, noting the federal government is working with Apple and Google to build systems that would allow Americans to carry identity documents on their smartphones and frictionlessly submit them to both the government and private sector websites for verification. Like I said, at first, they'll let you be able to just download the apps and go on Google and get the little verifications that you need to feel safe and comfortable. Oh, it's not invasive. It's just like any other app that I have, you see? And this is why these smartphones have been made so addictive, and why, basically your whole life is basically upon your phone right now, you see? Because it's gradually preparing you for the C ragamuffin, man. And, slowly, getting people comfortable to just, go from one, to ease them into this digital system. But we know, eventually, the trap is going to be set and they're going to shut the door. It says, let me see. Let me read down. Here we go. It says, digital identity is not merely a new, more handy, lightweight digital form of identification. It refers to a collection of data that purportedly defines who we are, including what we do both online and offline, and not merely to a means by which we can be identified as such. It says Alex Hancock, director of engineering for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, told the Defender that the Biden administration digital ID will disproportionately target the poor and the underprivileged, he said. Like I said earlier, if you want your welfare, you want your Section 8, you want your government assistance, If you want to continue to get those, hey, you're gonna have to eventually, get this, get digitally ID'd and get these apps for your smartphone so that you can be identified. And you know what that means too? Once it takes it to that level, it ain't gonna be no more selling your food stamps. Getting 200 food stamps for $100 cash, because now everything that's going to be linked with your identification will be on these cards. Your identity will be linked digitally. So when you go into the grocery store and swipe that EBT card, if that face don't match, hey, guess what? No ticky, no laundry, man. You see? It's going to cut out a lot of the side hustles, the operating financially outside of the eye of Big Brother, man. Everything's going to be digitally tracked and monitored in real time via this system, via AI, and things are going to get very, very tight, man. And that's why I said, it said a lot of behaviors are going to be changed, and how you operate in this world is going to change, because this devil was going to be monitoring you very heavily, via this system. What else? Yeah, it says digital identity and the standards that dictate them are still very new, and yet the White House is expediting digital identity for most vulnerable of populations, people on public benefit. You see? It says deploying various technology on this population to access their benefits, such as facial recognition, is not something I'd encourage or advise, especially with facial recognition being fraught with issues of discrimination, whatever, all right? But we see ultimately, this is a system that they're going to force everybody into. You see? And now with this system, hey, when they start to mandate particular things, when a particular plague start happening and they tell you, look, we have this new vaccine that you should take for this particular situation and things are getting out of control. Hey, this time when they're able to force it or tell you have to take it, hey, if you don't take it and it's not shown on your digital ID or your, or on your digital, medical history, guess what? There's going to be problems. There's going to be repercussions. There's going to be penalties. You see? So this is how they're going to be able to change and force behaviors on people, because once you get into this system, once particular things are mandated or forced, if you don't take it, they have the power to instantly, to get at you, man. You see? And and this is where everything is going, man. You see? This is why, hey, we cannot be ignorant to Satan's devices. We see where this thing is going, man. But the majority of these people out here, hey, they're going to be caught off guard by this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see? And that's all that this whole digital system is, man. It's a device of wickedness. It's a way that this devil is going to corral everybody into a system to where, you can't outsmart him. You can't wiggle around. You can't do anything that he doesn't want or want to force you to do. You see? And basically, you're going to have to bow yourself down to it. Let me get this, man. Because this is all the trap and the snare, man, that's being laid for you people, man. Let me see. Yes, it's Psalms 140. This is Psalms 140 and 4. Keep me, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. It says, the proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Selah. You see? And this is why, we can't be ignorant. We got to see exactly where this system is headed. And that's why I said for a minute, we'll be able to use it as far as, when they ask you, when we got to get particular digital IDs, if you're driving, they want you to put your driver's license on your phone or your ID on your phone so you can drive and go to work, or your bank card. Of course, yeah, whatever. That's cool. We're going to have to use that to utilize it the best that we can so that we could, get what we need. But we know once this thing go full blown CBDC and this thing go full blown, you have to get that charagma. Hey, that's when all bets are off. That's when we're going to have to totally detach from this society and move on faith, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for our food and raiment and protection, and not be overtaken and receive this man's mark. You see? It says, I have said unto Yahweh, thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplication, O power. O Yahweh, my Lord, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Most High, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Salah. Yeah, because we know that, eventually he's going to try to become God with this beast system by making everybody, receive this charagma, which therefore you're, worshiping him and, declaring him your Esau Edom, your digital God, man, by taking the badge of the Antichrist, But, that's when we know that, hey, all bets are going to be off once it starts to be to the point to where these CBDCs and your access to the system is going to have to be, inside of you, man. You're going to become the QR code. You're going to become the digital wallet. Will be not on your phone, but literally inside of you, man, which is the MOTB. And this is what all this is leading to, man. So don't let these other false Israelite groups tell you that the MOTB is sin, because if that's the case, then we've all had the MOTB, because sin was around long before the MOTB was mentioned in Revelation 13 chapter, man. All right. And if that's the case, if it's sin, then all of its form, then guess what? We've all, before we came into this truth, was down with Esau's system. We were Christians. We worshiped white Jesus. We were voting. We were doing everything that this system, put in our mind and our right hand, agreed to do it according to these false Israelite groups. And as the scriptures say, if we had whoever takes the MOTB, if it's being sin in all of its form, then guess what? We're all going to be destroyed in the presence of Yahweh Shai and in the presence of the holy angels. If that's the case, you jackasses, man. But it's not talking about that. All right. So what does it say here? So look, it says while the federal government wasn't able to legally mandate that word to all U.S. citizens, it went ahead anyway and mandated it to federal employees, and the private sector followed suit. The same can easily happen with digital identity. Like I said, once they implement this digital system, once they start forcing particular things or telling you that you have to have this or have that in order to receive this, hey, they're going to have the power to say, well, since you didn't take it, then, hey, we're going to not give you this. We're not going to allow you to get your paycheck. We're not going to allow you to work, or you can't go into this restaurant. But this time they'll have the power to digitally enforce it or, to shut you out, man. You see? What else it says? It says, look at this, but, so all these states are getting down with it. Look at this. It says, according to notice, 13 states have rolled out some kind of mobile driver license program, and men are working toward implementing a digital ID, but federal action pushing the transition has been delayed, creating a hodgepodge of blah, blah, blah. So look at this. You got 13 states, Arizona, California, Colorado, Delaware, Georgia, Iowa, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, New York, and Ohio launched digital driver's licenses and state ID. So little by little, all these states are implementing this system, in some shape or form, man. And I saw a brother did a video too that over 193 countries are already accepting this new digital form of a payment form. So you can see, hey man, the trap is being set. These devils are fast tracking this this whole beast system, man. And more states are going to eventually get involved in doing this shit, whether they're doing one part of it or another part of it. Look at this. It says at least 7 countries have launched digital ID. This includes Canada, Estonia, Germany, India, Japan, Singapore, and Sweden launched its digital ID and wallet earlier this year. And each of the 27 EU member states will offer at least one version of the EU digital identity wallet. You see? So it was just they're doing it everywhere, man. But they're all, digitally, pushing some form of it in some shape, form or the other, whether it's your driver's license, whether it's your ID, whether it's how you can bank or something. It's all going towards this same system, because what they're going to cause all, both small and great, rich or poor, eventually to receive that charagma. And that's why this whole system is going digital on all levels. Look at this. It says EU digital wallet, which may include driver's license, personal health data, travel documents, social security information, personal SIM cards, university diplomas, and also may be connected to one's bank account. Hello. You see? So we see where all this shit is going. That's why when you look up the root word of the word charagma is karax, and the root word of karax is grapho, which means information, pretty much. You know, which is what is going to be, that information is going to be on your digital wallet, which will eventually be in your charagma, which is going to be under the skin, as Noah Harari would say, man. So don't listen to these other fool ass Israelite groups out there, man. Look at this. In Greece, ticketing via the government's digital wallet is required to attend sporting events. You see? And that's happening here in America, too. A lot of these baseball stadiums, a lot of these football stadiums, now they're going to be requiring digital identification and facial recognition technology inside their stadiums, to where the only way that you can buy tickets is going to be through you being digitally identified, man. So, hey, man, it's all here, man. All right. These other Israelite groups, they all done sold out, man. You see? Look at this. What does it say? Yeah, look at this. It says that through public-private partnerships, digital identity can be very convenient for citizens' interactions with governments and corporations, but it can also be a tool for total surveillance and control. Well, that's what the hell it's all about at the end of the day. Like I said, they're going to speak smooth words and telling you it's for this, it's for that, but that's all part of the cap and all part of the snare that's being set, man. Look at this. Just like the jabs, digital identity doesn't have to be forcibly mandated to make your life miserable, but without it, you may not be able to make financial transactions, acquire a driver's license, go to school, or even access the internet. You see? And this is what they're going to do. They're going to tell you, well, hey, if you don't want to get this, fine, but you can't do this. You can't go to school. You can't get a driver's license. You can't have access to the internet. You see? So this is a system where eventually, for your convenience and for you to want to enjoy your life, so-called life here, you're gonna have to get these things to to function on some type of level. And even the prophets and the men of the Lord, we're gonna have to get with this system to a certain extent, to a particular degree. Like I said, once they start talking about this, the C ragamuffin, and it's gonna go from apps on your phone to now we found a way to put it inside of you. That's when hey man, we gotta chuck the deuce, man, and our faith is gonna be in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Point blank, period, man. And what does it say here? This is what it's all about. It says, in the process of all the data centralization, citizens increasingly lose privacy while the authorities hypocritically claim digital wallets provide greater privacy because they are more secure than theft, whatever. Where's the point I wanted? Yeah, see, India has already adopted this shit on a massive scale. You see, it says for more than a decade, the government said that digital identity would be voluntary. Then banks and local governments started mandating its use. You see, it's made people's lives difficult to live without the digital ID. Now, India boasts that around 1.2 billion citizens have voluntarily signed up for the digital ID. Right, because eventually it's going to make your life and live in hell. It's going to make life hard for you to function or to receive particular things if you don't ease your way into this system. You see, it's going to be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You see, that's why scripture tell you that they were able to kill those who didn't have the mark, meaning the root word for kill is apo, which means to separate from one thing to another. You see, and I know I'm mentioning a lot of scriptures because we just go into this information so many times, it's just become second nature, because we're always constantly going into this. You see, you see, it says some experts argue that Biden administration true goal with a digital ID is to lay the groundwork for the introduction of a CBDC, which that's what it is. And what did that one guy say? I forget his name, but he said, what would the CBDC look like in the future? He said the sign of a grain of rice, man. And if you don't know what that means, I don't know what to tell you, man. You better figure it out. It says the reason the Biden administration, and it's not just the Biden administration, it's the goal of the global elites. This is going to be a global system, man. So this is the reason why they're doing all this. It says once a digital ID is so that the Federal Reserve and the banking system can move to an all-digital financial control system that will use programmable money, which will permit taxation without representation and negative interest rates. You see? See, like the CBDC could be used to shut people with non-establishment opinions out of the public life. Linked with CBDC, digital identity could bar these undesirables from the economy, he said, citing people whose bank accounts were frozen for supporting or participating in the Canadian. Yeah, man, that's all it's all about, man. a complete system of control. This is how they'll be able to control your behavior, to control you, and you'll have to basically be a slave, and Esau and these elites will be a god via this digital system, man. And this is what it's all boiling down to at the end of the day, man. All right. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And that word for the mark is the charagma, which is a physical thing. It's not a spiritual mark. It's not a spiritual situation. It's a physical thing, man, that will eventually be inside of you. You know, it says, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Like I said, you know, if you don't get down with this system, you won't be able to function in the public or private sector. You see, because in that situation, everybody, you know, with this new beast system will be basically a welfare recipient. You'll be dependent upon your money, your access to this, your access to that via the powers that be. And if you don't ultimately have the digital ID or the, you know, the particular prerequisites in order to receive, you know, these handouts from the powers that be, then guess what? You're screwed. You're fucked, man. You're just going to be shafted and left out in the cold. You see, you won't be able to function or be recognized or even be considered a citizen of of whatever America will become unless you eventually receive that sea ragamuffin, or before that, take hold of this digital ID system that they're rolling out at the end of the day, man. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And that's the number and the number of Esau, man. So I know this was a long article, but it just had a lot of good information. I just wanted to go into it, man. Hey, it's time for you Israelites out there to wake up and see, you know, what it truly is, man. And don't be led astray and duped by these false sellout Israelite groups telling you that the MOTB is sin in all of its form and not the C ragamuffin, the charagma, the micro C hip, man. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, you're edified. Shalom.